What's good, YouTube? It's been a while since I posted my last video, like last year, and more of the videos before that. I just want to bring back, more for 2024, and want to wish you guys a late Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I hope you guys have a, amazing year. Will always have an amazing year. You guys should always have that, and positivity is always our number one thing, and I always say that in every bunch of my videos. I just want you guys to know that. Always stay positive, and always be productive in life. That's all it is. Always being successful in life, and success doesn't come easy. It takes time and efforts and stuff like that. Okay, let's talk about my job, and that's gonna be my title, about my job and what happened. And here's a what happened situation. And usually, I know I don't want to talk about it much, but in this instance, I guess it's worth talking about. But this job has, like I mentioned in my videos, it has its challenges and it has its up and downs, and no job is perfect, right? What world do you live in that every job is perfect? Nothing is, and it's always going to be questions about whether your job is perfect or whether we get success in life, and whether it takes you places, right? So I just want to add the point, I left the job. I just want to point it out. And given the circumstances of the job, they didn't say a reason. They just said, I just decided to leave because I don't want to give them a reason to do anything, because it's about basically a person, who assumes things and, thinks otherwise. So if it happens to you too, like say you trying to say something and they take it another way, sort of situation, they come at you with nothing but just being unemployed for some time, and not being able to work at all. So you try to look for other branches of jobs, you may get it. That's different. But eventually, I hope all works out for every one of you guys. And honestly, it's been a real huge challenge for me, because personally, being at Amazon was an amazing experience. I loved Amazon, and especially certain criteria of leadership, or whoever was there with us at the time or is there. They had major challenges. They would constantly nag about how you do your job and what you're supposed to do, are you doing it right, all said and done. It's just that you come back to the same situation again. It tends to think, okay, we're doing the job that you trained us to do and we're doing it right, but nonetheless they come at you with, oh yeah, you're incompetent, you can't do it right, even though we're doing it right, we're supposed to. For example, you at your job, they train you, they do this, they do that, right? Say only if you're doing mistakes, yeah, they point it out to you, and they mention a few things like, oh yeah, this person did something wrong, he shipped it all wrong, this and that, blah blah blah. But that's different. But in this instance, it's you do your job right. They just want to find some flaw in you, and they point that out so people can actually see that flaw and say, oh my god, this dude can't do his job, he's incompetent, he can do all what he can do, and training went out the window, kind of thing. Even then, we try to do whatever we can do to the job. And honestly, being at that job was just experience. People do everything for experience, so that when they try to enter the world, they can say, I did this, I did that, and so and so. and I got this position, and I moved up, and so and so happened. But I just want to say, like, every day it's always going to be tough on you guys. Eventually, whatever job you guys are in, you're going to meet some people. They're going to hear some things and misunderstand some wording come out of your mouth, and they take a certain way. They just fabricate stuff. Like you trying to say hi, or you trying to say, even if you don't say goodbye, they just take that to offense, and be like, oh my god, this dude like didn't say anything to me. He just didn't do his job right like he's supposed to. But even if you did, as a person, you did your job. Like, you showed them that this product is good, and this is how we do it, and then that's the process, and that's how you show them that this is a really good buy and stuff like that. They're still going to criticize you. No matter what, they were still going to have that little bit of criticism. Like, eventually, not every job has that. Like, if you're going against like a person who's a bit of like a problem, yeah, you might face some problems in life. Like, they try to give you like, let's just say in this instance, they give you the correct outcome of what you're supposed to do, and then the different outcome is you're doing the right job, but their outcome is way different to what you're supposed to do properly. To whereas when you're trying to do your job, it's just like they criticize you for that. They just be like, oh yeah, you put this in the wrong place, you did this, you did that. That sort of situation. But everyone ends up in that kind of situation, which is insane. I'm wondering, like, half the majority of people would face the exact same thing. Like, imagine like you're having a boss, all right, with you every day, and they monitor what you're doing, that sort of thing, right? But usually I've seen some managers don't like instigate or deal with situations like that, or even your team leader, that sort of thing. It's only when team leads are needed for, say, your cashier and your system is stuck, and they need you to process a return, and you can't give them a refund because it doesn't allow you. It only happens if a team leader or manager comes up and says, okay, let me do it, and process the return, or give them store credit, whatever. But usually certain things are only done by managers or something like that. That's the only time they come out and they assist you or something like that. And usually you see managers like only help out in certain times when you need them only, not literally shadowing you every single day of your life and being there always. So usually I've seen that all my life. Like, I never, like, if you're a manager or some sort and you go over your people, they would feel some type of way, like, oh my god, this guy doesn't trust me, or he doesn't trust me, or she or he, whoever is your manager, doesn't trust you. You feel like you're being watched over. That sort of thing always happens. But in that instance, people always assume, like, okay, what we're doing, to you or being there is right. But it's like you're micromanaging the situation. Like, you're telling us what to do when we're trying to explain it to them. They have a strong disbelief of what we're saying to them, whereas when you say it, the exact thing you just said in a different way, or the exact way, it doesn't matter. And as you explain to the customer, and somebody else shows up and says, this is what you did, and that's what you're supposed to do, and I can't go into detail, but that's how it is. In reality, that's a situation everyone will face regardless. And I just want to point out, if you guys are new to the channel, click that subscribe, turn those post notifications on, and if you like my video, comment down below, and stay subscribed to my channel, Darren Prime channel. And hope you guys have an amazing day, always. And before, I want to continue. There's just one thing, like, people always have stressful lives, right? Always, like I say in my previous videos, be positive, because positivity gets you, everywhere in life. But you try to keep your mindset in a straightforward way, 100%, it will lead you to maybe success, failure, it doesn't matter, right? At least you achieved it, you try to do it, and you made your goal. And you always have to, start from below and then move up in life. That's the way to success. It doesn't come easy though, you know what I'm saying? And, continuing with my job info, I just want to say, like, honestly, it's just like not being able to be in Amazon is a big, like, people have always dreamed about major companies like Amazon or Apple or even Google or Microsoft. Those are always like the major companies, like, people always strive at. And nowadays, like, companies like the lower companies, like, if people try to go into, like, starting from the low part, like retail, like, let's just say Target or Walmart, like that, or Giant, and most people would, like, not be able to get in. Most would, most wouldn't, right? It's a majority of who is doing better. But if you do it right, and they just don't pick you, that's how it plays out in, like, certain places. And you try to, put that positive thinking towards it, and saying, like, they always ask the question, like, what are you doing? Like, customers need help. Like, you say yes, and if they need help, I'm always there, because that's the number one thing. In a situation like that, you always want to provide and attend to their needs and stuff like that. So even if you instigate that statement, they just, it's like thrown out the window and looking at the next person or the next person or the next person. That's how it is. It doesn't matter what you say. It's just, for them, it's just like, what you say may or may not matter to certain people, because they're really, like, ignorant about it. They just, like, forget the fact that you even probably had experience or have experience or did experience. It doesn't matter. Eventually, you gotta be, a person who is willing to do it and wanting to do it, kind of thing. Not just, attempting and then I fail. Oh my God, I can't do it again. I can't get this job. No, it's not that. It's about, like, whether you did it or not, you at least attempted it. And, talking to the viewers, I see you guys. You guys should try it. Like, eventually, people have always given up. I've seen people giving up. It's always a nature. Like, we give up on the instance, like, oh, we can't do it. Okay, we should move on. No, with this, sometimes you'd have to move on. Yeah, but the fact is that if you move on, it's like you're proving yourself wrong to be not being able to do it, or you're trying to give it an actual question to your answer than solving the problem. Like, that's how life is. It can be very difficult, a huge turnaround, and people always end up like, I'm a failure, I can't do this, that sort of thing. But going through all these life changes, it happens. And also, sorry about that. Going back to my job. Okay, that was also part of it, but a little bit of topic. So usually, like, being in Amazon was a game changer for me. Like, I had amazing people. I loved the environment, and the job I did was amazing. I love the people, but like, you being there for one time for your training purposes, that's totally understandable. But having you constantly being there, like, which kind of team leader is always, you know, like behind you or with you at all times, that they have to shadow you, during your work process or any type of situation. Like even if you're done training and they still shadow you for no reason, like that telling like you can't do your job. You did it all wrong. You were, doing everything wrong, and then it's trying to make you, you know it's trying to make you look like you don't know anything, like you're incapable of doing your own job, type of thing. And that sets a lot of boundaries between, you know being trained by your team leader or being trained by the actual person who's done the job before, or that type of thing, or a job trainer, whichever, right? They're trying to show you what we do here and all that stuff. That's like 4 days, 5 days, or a week training, that sort of thing. But after you're done, they show you, they give you a trial to see whether you're doing it right and blah blah blah. Then eventually, you just pick up the job and they say, okay, you're doing it right, and you should be able to go on yourself, and you should be able to, work these days and like that sort of thing. But in this instance, I would say like the job I did was a 4-day training, and we had some people come back, some people didn't. So in my case was some people did come back, and they were all about like the job and stuff like that. They were all like, oh yeah, the job is so, like they had ups and downs about it. So they would say like, oh, this job is so bad, like I have to get a second job, at least to make ends meet. Yeah, I understand. It's like not easy as it sounds, but at least you're doing your job, trying to make your hours and stuff like that. And to top it all off, like if your team leader is literally right there after the 4 days training, and they're like pointing out what you should do, what you shouldn't do, kind of thing, that's just them being, how do you put that in perspective, like OCD kind of thing. Like I've never seen someone so so rule minded so much, like to put random stuff about, like for example, I can understand certain things like don't bring your food, don't put it here, don't put it there, that kind of thing. I totally understand. But when it comes to like, say, your day-to-day life of like products or packages or something like that, right? Certain products have to be in the right place. Certain packages don't. But depending on size, you just put it. Depending on size, you just put that there where it matters, right? That's the only thing when it comes to packages. That's what I did. I had in packages, and I had to sort them out and do all that sort of thing. Basically, I was like a customer associate, service associate, and I had people's returns and stuff like that. That was my title. And seeing customers come through and stuff like that, I feel like some people are biased. Like their intentions are to either one, like you try to say something nice, or try say bye or some compliment, some shit, and they take it the wrong way. That's their mind, that's their problem, but it affects you as a person. Even if you say something that's wrong, right, that sort of thing happens, but eventually it's your own word against them. But what evidence do they have, like that if you only, it's only your words, right? So you're saying something, they take it the wrong way, and you end up being how do you say that, either suspended or something like that. Like eventually you as a person feel undervalued for what you're doing, and you feel undermined, then I get an answer, which in my case I never got an answer, because they try to reach out to you at a time where where you can talk to them and you email them and stuff like that, they eventually don't respond. Like it's like a total bias thing. And obviously, every time you know, in a situation where you're working, you're always constantly doing your job right. You're not doing anything, you know, saying appropriate things or doing stuff like that or anything, any sort of thing. It's just that if you're in a situation where it comes to that point, but you know, like every customer is different. They're all having their own biased thoughts. They're all having their own opinions. They're always, you know, assuming things. They're always thinking things. They're always, you know, all that sort of stuff runs in your mind. And the nature of it is being, you know, out of the situation, but not into the situation. So eventually, if you get stuck in that kind of situation, just forget about it, move on, or take it to somewhere where they actually can hear you out, or they can get it resolved. But in this system, it's all of the above, where everyone is like against you. They don't do anything. You know, it's always about that. And if you have no choice but to not hear anything, you have to either, you know, voluntarily resign or something like that, because eventually you don't get any answers. You quit, and you know, you just like, you can't really think about what happened before to now. You're just trying to get answers, right? So eventually, you know, people have gone through many struggles with life, with being a team, with your team leader, and all the type of situations. And if your peers were there too, and they know, you know, all sort of things happen. Like I swear, like people have very, very different opinions, and I can understand, like, you know, eventually people have like doubts about it. I understand. If you guys want to comment down below, this is the end of the video. If you guys want to leave a comment about any type of situation you're in, and I want you guys to be, God bless you guys, and for being a true supporter. I want you guys to always be positive in any such a way. And I just want to end with one piece of advice. Never ever be in a situation where your manager puts you on the spot and, you know, has trust issues kind of way, and doesn't believe you, you know, that sort of thing, doesn't want to hear you out. And even though the fact that happens, always go with someone who's, you know, above them or beyond them, and always reach out to them in the best way. And, you know, always remember that. And peace out.